Good evening and thank you for joining us. Carly, you know, we all know that Lloydminster is a hockey town, but I guess as we move into spring, proves that we're also a football town too.
That's right, and there are two young men on this Red Dogs football team who have earned the right to represent themselves at the Bantam Bowl. Very exciting news.
Fantastic. We look forward to that. Gerard, what's the weather looking like for them?
Well, the weather is this evening. We've got some precipitation on the way. We've had basically a very sunny day, but we've witnessed the buildup of cloud cover, particularly in the last hour. And what we're looking at is a 61% chance humidity. The humidity is rising. The winds out of the northwest, and they are gusting as well, anywhere from 44 to 54 kilometers an hour. And as we compare, it's a similar story happening across our region in the lakelands as well. That 12 that you're seeing there, it's down from a 15 that was reached at 2 this afternoon, and as well that cloud cover is building up there too. They've had a mainly cloudy day in the lakelands. In the Battlefords, that 17 that you're seeing is just down from 18 that was hit at noon, and again a buildup of cloud cover. So that's the situation in the Battlefords, sitting at plus 17.
Last night at about 10:30, Battlefords RCMP were called to a house in North Battleford. Police say a 36-year-old man had been stabbed in the face. The man was sent to the Battlefords Union Hospital and then on to a Saskatoon hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The investigation is ongoing and charges are pending. Battlefords RCMP also recently attended 2 different fire calls on the Moosomin First Nation, one last Friday and the second on Saturday. At around 3:30 Friday afternoon, RCMP found a fire burning in a garbage bin across from the Moosomin Community Hall. The flames spread to the building and resulted in a complete loss of the structure. The next day at about 3 in the morning, police were called to another fire which burned down an abandoned residence. Several divisions of the RCMP were involved in the investigation into both fires. The community hall fire was caused by a young person who put a burning stick into the garbage bin. However, since the person is under 12 years of age, no criminal proceedings will occur. The fire at the abandoned home is still under investigation. In Onion Lake, RCMP are investigating an incident from last weekend as well. Police say on Saturday night, a single gunshot was fired from a car into a house occupied by 20 people. A suspect vehicle was found nearby, which was seized and examined by the Forensic Identification Section. A crime scene investigation also took place at the house. Victim services from Onion Lake and Lloydminster were made available for the people in the house at the time of the shooting, and the investigation into this incident is ongoing. In the Vegreville-Wainwright constituency, Conservative candidate Leon Benoit was re-elected, winning with just under 80% of the vote, the highest margin since he was first elected back in 1993. And as Jenna Bridges explains, although Benoit seemed unfazed by the Conservatives winning a majority government, it came as a surprise to some of his opposing candidates.
And all of you who put signs up, who've done all of the other things.
Leon Benoit says in his campaigning it became apparent that residents were ready and wanted a majority government. And after a long history in the area and with the Conservative Party, it's a government he's excited to be a part of.
I think our country, Canada, needs this majority right now, and I'm so thankful to the people of Vegreville-Wainwright constituency and the people right across the country for giving us that.
Benoit won his seat by a vast majority over his counterparts in the riding. However, even NDP candidate Ray Stone admits he was shocked at the number of seats won by the NDP in Eastern Canada.
Really, in a way, surprised at how well, Jack done in Quebec. And that was, we didn't expect that. At least I didn't. And so I was really happy about that. We formed the official opposition.
Liberal candidate Ron Williams says he was surprised by the overwhelming support for the Conservative Party in the riding after running his campaign and speaking with residents in the area.
I did think with the increase in interest that I detected that there would be some movement away from the solid Tory voting, which seems to be, programmed into Albertans.
Green Party candidate William Munsey felt the election results showed that the environment has slipped off Canadians' agenda, but was pleased that the Green Party won a seat in Parliament.
I'm happy Elizabeth May now has a seat in the House of Parliament, and we'll see what she can do with her voice, and we'll see just now that the Conservatives are unfettered by opposition, we'll see what kind of a government they can really provide.
Benoit welcomes the opposition NDP, maintaining the Socialists will keep the Conservatives honest. He says without worrying about another election, the Conservative government will now be able to focus their attention on delivering a balanced budget. Jenna Bridges, Newcap News.
Matthew Sokolsky was also running for a seat in the Vegreville-Wainwright constituency with the Christian Heritage Party of Canada, but he was unavailable for comment today. Well, once again, Jerry Ritz, the Conservative candidate, will represent the Battlefords-Lloydminster constituency. Ritz won with 67% of the votes, up from 2008, where he won with over 60%. Shauna Roshik has more from the candidates and what happened in the riding last night.
Last night, the Conservative Party was the big winner, not only as the re-elected Government of Canada, but will also lead the House with the majority seat. In the Battlefords-Lloydminster riding, Jerry Ritz once again won with a 67% majority, a win that he is thrilled about, not only for his constituency, but for the Harper government.
I think it's a tremendous opportunity to move this country forward. We're really the only party that focused on the economy. That's really what was the game changer. They took us to an election simply because they wanted to talk about other things.
History was made as Jack Layton and the NDP party won for the first time, becoming the official opposition. Glenn Tate, NDP representative for the Battlefords-Lloydminster constituency, is happy for his party, but the loss is bittersweet for him.
We've got about 2.5 times as many seats as we've ever had, which puts us into the official opposition. It's time for the NDP to stand up and be noticed. It's time for us to show Canada that we are, as we have been shown to be before, the real official opposition.
Also, for the first time ever, the Green Party now has one seat at the federal level. Norbert Kratchmer, the organic farmer representing the Green Party in this riding, is thrilled that his party now has a voice.
I think that's what democracy is all about, and I'm eager to see what positive change it will bring about for good, sustainable environmental issues and the fight against nuclear, because we were the party that said no to nuclear, yes to renewables.
As the past agriculture minister, Ritz is ready to take on this job if asked once again.
Should the Prime Minister ask me to stay in that chair, I'd be happy to. I think we've done some great things for agriculture and agri-food across this great country. Having said that, I'll wait for the call from the big guy, see what he's going to ask me to do.
The Liberal Party was decimated with only 34 seats. Closer to home, representing the Liberals is Jordan LaPlante, receiving 3.3% of the votes. LaPlante was contacted but was unavailable for comment. Shauna Roshik, Newcap News.
The orange wave of support for the NDP party was defiantly present in the Desnethe-Missinippi-Churchill River riding. NDP candidate Lawrence Joseph made things interesting in a riding that was dominated last election by the Conservative Party. Jack Haskins tells us how things unfolded last night in Meadow Lake.
Conservative incumbent Rob Clark arrived at his party headquarters just as the results from the polls started rolling in. Clark and NDP candidate Lawrence Joseph were jockeying for the lead during the early stages of the evening, but in the end, Rob Clark tight-roped his way to victory.
I'm very happy with the result, and I'm very happy with seeing the results of the Conservative Party coming ahead and looking like we're going to get a majority. It's been a lot of door knocking, and being away from the family, it's great to have my kids here tonight.
Clark acknowledged the strong campaign of Lawrence Joseph and the rest of the NDP party. Although there was a surge in support for the New Democrats, the West is still blanketed with Conservative blue.
And the NDP surge, well, it speaks for itself. They came strong in Quebec, and I think that's where most of the momentum was. But as we worked out further west, you saw the Conservatives starting to pull ahead.
Even though it was a two-horse race between the Conservatives and the NDP, Liberal candidate Gabe Lafond is satisfied with his campaign and has no hard feelings.
My thoughts are that the people made a decision, and I respect the decision of the people's choice and the democracy. So I'm sure Rob Clark will do well in his victory.
Now Clark is looking ahead to a 4-year mandate, but he says he couldn't have done it without his supporters.
Let's have some fun tonight. Without these people here tonight, as you see, I would not have a chance to become the sitting MP, and I have to thank the constituents for giving me the third mandate to represent them in 3 years.
NDP candidate Lawrence Joseph refused to comment, and George Morin of the Green Party never returned our calls. Jack Haskins, Newcap News.